Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Emily Carter and I'm a urologist. But more than that, I consider myself a partner in health for the hundreds of men I've had the privilege of speaking with over the years. Before we dive into the science and the solutions today, I want you to take a moment and picture a very specific scene with me. It's early morning, the house is quiet, the sun is just starting to filter through the window, casting a soft glow. You get out of bed, your feet hit the floor, and you make that familiar walk to the bathroom, just as you've done thousands of times before. NBUT lately, that simple, automatic act feels different, doesn't it? There's a hesitation, a quiet worry that you don't speak about, but you feel it. Maybe the stream isn't as strong as it used to be, not like it was even 5 or 10 years ago. Maybe you have to stand there longer than you'd like, waiting, feeling a little bit of frustration. Or maybe the most annoying part is that you feel like you're not quite finished, even when you are, leading to that nagging feeling or even an embarrassing little dribble later on. NIF, any of that sounds familiar? I want you to take a deep breath and hear me clearly. First, you are not alone. This is one of the most common, yet unspoken experiences for men over 55, 60, and beyond. It's a shared journey. And second, I am so genuinely glad you are here today. Because that quiet morning worry, we're going to face it head on, not with complicated procedures, not with a pharmacy of pills, but with a simple, powerful morning routine that you can begin the moment you wake up tomorrow. This video isn't about just managing a problem. It's about taking back control. It's about protecting your long-term health, your independence, and reviving that feeling of vitality and confidence that is rightfully yours. This is a message of hope. And it's grounded in real, practical science and SO. Let's pull back the curtain. Let's talk about what's really going on in your body in those early morning hours, and more importantly, what we can do about it, together. And why your prostate sends morning warning signals to truly solve a problem, especially when concerning our health. We first have to understand it. And when it comes to these specific changes in urination, the weakness, the hesitation, the frequency, the conversation almost always leads to one small but mighty gland, the prostate. Now, I know the word prostate can cause a lot of anxiety for men. It's often associated with fear and serious health concerns. But for today, let's demystify it. Let's make it simple. And I want you to think of your urinary system like a brand new garden hose. In your younger years, that hose is wide open, flexible, and water flows through it with a strong, powerful, and predictable stream. The prostate is a small gland, about the size of a walnut, that sits right at the base of your bladder. The urethra, the tube you urinate through, passes directly through the center of this gland. As we age, a very common and natural process occurs in most men. The prostate begins to slowly and gradually get a little bigger. The medical term for this is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. The most important word there is benign, meaning it isn't cancer. It's a non-cancerous enlargement. But even though it's not life-threatening, it can certainly be life-disrupting. Now let's go back to our garden hose analogy. Imagine someone is now gently and very slowly squeezing the middle of that hose. The flow of water isn't cut off completely, but it's definitely not as strong as it once was. It's weaker. It might take longer to empty the watering can. It might even drip a little after you've turned off the spigot. NTHAT is exactly what's happening in your body. The enlarged prostate puts a gentle pressure on the urethra, narrowing the channel. This is precisely why you might experience a weaker stream, why it might take a moment to get started, and why you might have that incredibly annoying sensation of incomplete emptying. It's also why you might find yourself waking up more at night. Your bladder, which is a strong muscular sac, has to work harder to push urine through that narrowed passage. Over time, the bladder can get irritated and more sensitive from all that extra work, triggering the signal to go more often even when it isn't completely full. Understanding this is the most important first step toward feeling better. This is not a personal failure, it is not a sign of weakness, it is a normal biological process of aging. But normal does not mean we have to simply accept the discomfort and the disruption it causes. By understanding that it's just a gentle squeeze on the hose, we can now focus our efforts on simple, natural ways to relax that pressure, soothe the system, and strengthen our control. And it all starts the moment you wake up. And the sunrise hydration ritual. Let me ask you a question. What is the very first thing you put into your body in the morning? For millions of men, the answer is a cup of hot, strong coffee, or maybe a glass of ice-cold water from the tap. While there's nothing wrong with either of those later on, we can be much, much smarter about our very first drink of the day. Your first drink sets the tone for your entire urinary system for the hours to come. Think about it. After a long night of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated, and your urine is at its most concentrated. This concentrated, acidic urine can be very irritating to the sensitive lining of the bladder and the prostate. Our first job in the morning, then, is not to jolt the system, but to gently flush and soothe it. This is what I call the sunrise hydration ritual. It's simple, but it's profound. Before you do anything else, before the coffee, before breakfast, before checking your phone, I want you to go to the kitchen and pour yourself a large glass of lukewarm water. That's about 12 to 16 ounces, or a standard-sized glass. The temperature is key here, not cold and not hot. Why lukewarm? Because your body can absorb it most easily and rapidly without having to expend precious energy to heat it up or cool it down. It's immediately usable. Now, here's the simple addition that elevates this from simple hydration to a therapeutic ritual. Squeeze the juice of about a quarter of a fresh lemon into that water. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Lemon juice is acidic, isn't that bad? Well, it's a fascinating bit of body chemistry. Outside the body, it's acidic. But once it's metabolized, it has an alkalizing effect on your system. This helps to gently balance your body's pH. More importantly, for our purposes, lemon contains citrate and has natural diuretic and anti-inflammatory properties. It helps your kidneys flush out toxins more efficiently and can help reduce the low-grade inflammation that often contributes to prostate swelling and urinary symptoms. And I had a patient, a wonderful gentleman named Robert, who was 68. He was a retired firefighter, a coffee-first kind of guy, and he was deeply frustrated. His main complaint was a weak stream and feeling like he had to go to the bathroom again just 10 minutes after he'd finished. I asked him to try just one thing for 2 weeks. Start his day with the lukewarm lemon water and wait 20 minutes before having his beloved coffee. NHE was skeptical, to say the least. But he was also desperate for a change, so he agreed. When I saw him 2 weeks later, he had a huge smile on his face. He said, "Doc, I don't know how it works, but it's like magic. My morning visit to the bathroom is faster, it feels more complete, and I don't have that nagging feeling following me around all morning." It wasn't magic, of course. He was simply giving his body the right tool, at the right time. He was soothing his system instead of shocking it with caffeine and cold liquid first thing. This simple 2-minute act can make a world of difference in how your day begins, and the 5-minute pelvic floor power moving. All right, you've had your sunrise hydration, and your body is starting to wake up and flush itself out. Now, before you even leave the bedroom, we're going to do something that directly strengthens the very muscles responsible for bladder control, urinary flow, and even healthy blood flow for erections. Many men I talk to think that to help their body, they need to go to the gym and lift heavy weights. And while general fitness is fantastic, the most important muscles for this particular issue are small, internal, and almost always ignored, the pelvic floor muscles. Imagine a muscular hammock or sling stretching from your pubic bone in the front to your tailbone in the back. That's your pelvic floor. These muscles form a supportive base for your entire pelvic region, holding your bladder and prostate in their proper place. When they are strong and toned, you have better control over urination and better erectile function. When they become weak or too tense, which happens with age and inactivity, things can start to feel less controlled and less powerful. So we're going to do a simple exercise to wake them up and retrain them. You can do this sitting on the edge of your bed or even lying down before you get up. Here's what I want you to do. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Now, as you breathe out, I want you to gently squeeze the muscles you would use to stop the flow of urine midstream. It's an internal lift. It's crucial that you're not clenching your large buttock muscles or your thighs. The movement is subtle, focused, and right in the center of your pelvis. If you're doing it right, you might feel your testicles lift slightly. Now, hold that gentle squeeze for a count of 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.N next. And this is just as important. Release the squeeze completely for a count of 5 seconds. Really focus on the sensation of the muscles letting go and returning to a relaxed state. You need to feel the muscles fully relaxed to get the full benefit. Let's try it again together. Breathe in. As you breathe out, gently lift and squeeze those internal muscles. Hold for 5. And completely relax and let go for 5. And I recommend doing a set of 10 of these every single morning without fail. It takes less than 5 minutes. This simple act does 2 incredible things. First, it strengthens your urethral sphincter and pelvic floor, giving you more voluntary control over your bladder, which can significantly reduce leakage and urgency. Second, it acts like a pump, increasing healthy blood flow to the entire pelvic region. Good blood flow is essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients to the prostate to keep it healthy, and it is absolutely critical for firm, healthy erections. And think of it as internal fitness. It's the most targeted, powerful thing you can do for your manhood and your prostate health. And it's completely discreet, silent, and easy to do, and the prostate-protecting breakfast platen. Now that we've hydrated our system and activated our core muscles, it's time for breakfast. We've all heard the saying, food is medicine, and nowhere is this truer than with prostate health. Your first meal of the day is a golden opportunity to give your prostate the specific nutrients it needs to defend itself and function properly. You don't need to eat a huge, complicated meal. In fact, simplicity is key. I want you to focus on consistently including 2 prostate powerhouses on your breakfast plate. NTHE first is cooked tomatoes. And tomatoes are famous for being rich in a powerful antioxidant called lycopene. It's the natural pigment that gives them their beautiful red color. Study after study in major medical journals has shown that a diet rich in lycopene is incredibly protective for the prostate. Lycopene acts like a personal bodyguard for your prostate cells, neutralizing harmful free radicals that can lead to inflammation and cellular damage. NBUT. Here's a crucial tip. The lycopene in tomatoes is fat-soluble and becomes much more easily absorbed by your body when the tomatoes are cooked and eaten with a little bit of healthy fat, like olive oil or the fat in an egg yolk. So having some stewed tomatoes with your eggs, a bit of low-sugar tomato sauce, or even a glass of low-sodium tomato juice is a fantastic and effective choice. Raw tomatoes are good, but cooked tomatoes are great. NTHE's second powerhouse is pumpkin seeds. NIF, there is one superfood for the prostate. This is it. These little green seeds are one of the richest natural sources of the mineral zinc. A healthy prostate has very high concentrations of zinc, and research has shown that zinc levels tend to drop in men with BPH and other prostate issues. Topping up your zinc is essential. Furthermore, pumpkin seeds contain a unique compound called beta-sitosterol, a plant sterol that has been studied for its ability to improve urinary flow and reduce the amount of urine left in the bladder after you go. Now, a patient of mine, David, who is 72 and an avid gardener, started what he calls his prostate scramble. He'd scramble 2 eggs, and in the last minute of cooking, he'd stir in some chopped canned stewed tomatoes and a handful of spinach. Then, he'd put it on his plate and sprinkle a tablespoon of raw pumpkin seeds on top right before eating for a nice crunch. He loved it. He told me, "It's my daily insurance policy. I feel like I'm actively doing something good for myself, and it's delicious." Just a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds and a serving of cooked tomato. It's that simple. You are literally eating to soothe inflammation and provide the core building blocks for a healthy, well-functioning prostate. And the mindful minute, reducing the stress hormone. We've covered hydration, exercise, and nutrition. These are the physical pillars. But there's one more piece of the puzzle, and it's often the most overlooked. It has nothing to do with what you eat or how you move, and everything to do with what's going on in your mind. It's stress. When we wake up in the morning, our bodies produce a natural surge of a hormone called cortisol. This is our get-up-and-go hormone, designed to give us energy to start the day. But in our modern high-stress lives, filled with financial worries, news headlines, and endless to-do lists, our cortisol levels can often be chronically elevated. What does this have to do with your prostate? Everything. Stress and anxiety cause the muscles in your body to tense up, You feel it in your neck and shoulders. But that tension happens internally too. It causes the smooth muscles in your bladder neck and in the capsule surrounding your prostate to tighten. When these muscles are tense, they effectively tighten that squeeze on your urethra, making all of your urinary symptoms, the weak stream, the hesitation, significantly worse. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling particularly stressed or rushed, it's physically harder to urinate? That's cortisol at work, NSO. Our final step in this powerful morning routine is to consciously and intentionally lower that stress hormone before we charge into our day. I call it the mindful minute. And after your pelvic floor exercises, before you head for the kitchen, I want you to simply sit on the edge of your bed again. Sit up straight, close your eyes, and place a hand on your belly. And just breathe. And I want you to take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4. As you breathe in, feel your belly expand and push your hand out. Hold that breath gently for a count of 4. And then, slowly and completely, exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. Making the exhale slightly longer than the inhale is the key to activating your body's parasympathetic nervous system, its natural rest and digest response. Let's do one together. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. NDO this for just 1 minute. Set a timer if you need to. 60 seconds. That's it. This simple act of deep, diaphragmatic breathing sends a powerful signal to your brain and your entire nervous system. It says you are safe. You can relax. It actively lowers cortisol, which in turn helps to relax those tight pelvic muscles, providing an immediate sense of ease and better flow. It's a powerful antidote to the morning rush and the anxiety that can come with prostate worries. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your own physiology, in your new morning blueprint, putting it all together. I know we've covered a lot of information, and I want to make sure this feels achievable, not overwhelming. The goal here is to build a sustainable habit, not a list of chores. This entire routine, from start to finish, should take no more than 15 to 20 minutes. Let's put it all together into a simple, clear blueprint. This is your new morning ritual for prostate health and vitality. Step 1. The sunrise hydration. The very moment you get out of bed, before anything else, drink 1 large glass of lukewarm water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Think of it as an internal shower, gently cleansing and soothing your system. Step 2. The pelvic floor power move. While sitting on the edge of your bed, perform 10 repetitions of your pelvic floor squeezes. Remember, it's a gentle internal lift. Hold for 5 seconds and then completely relax for 5 seconds. You are waking up and strengthening your crucial support muscles. Step 3. The mindful minute. Before you leave the bedroom, take just 60 seconds for deep belly breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. You are consciously calming your nervous system and releasing the tension that worsens symptoms. And step 4. The prostate-protecting breakfast. Within the first hour of waking, make sure your breakfast includes a serving of cooked tomatoes and a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds. You are fueling your body with the specific, protective nutrients it needs. That's the entire plan. 4 simple, powerful steps. This isn't a random list of tips. This is a sequence of actions designed to work together. Each step builds on the last, creating a synergistic effect that hydrates, strengthens, calms, and nourishes. A future of confidence and control looks directly and warmly into the camera. Her tone becomes more personal and sincere. NDR. Carter. We started this conversation today by talking about a quiet worry, a feeling that many men have in the morning that something is changing, that they might be losing a little bit of control over their own body. And I hope that what you're feeling right now is the opposite of that. I hope you're feeling a sense of hope, a sense of possibility, a sense of empowerment, because every single step we discussed today is completely and totally within your control. These aren't expensive gadgets or gimmicks. This is simple, proven science, translated into practical daily actions you can take. This is you deciding to become an active partner with your own body, to work with it, not against it. Please understand, taking care of your prostate health is about so much more than just making it easier to urinate. It's about being able to go on that long car ride with your grandkids without constantly worrying about where the next rest stop is. It's about being able to sit through a whole movie or a church service without having to get up. It's about getting a full, deep, restful night of sleep and waking up feeling refreshed, not exhausted. And it's about maintaining the confidence and vitality that helps define your manhood. And most importantly, it's about protecting your health and your independence for all the years to come. You have the power to build a healthier, more confident future, and it can start tomorrow morning. You've already taken the most important step by simply being here, by seeking out this knowledge, and by deciding to do something about it. I respect that immensely. NT, thank you for spending this time with me today. Be well, stay hopeful, and know that you have the tools to write a healthier, more vibrant next chapter of your life.